What's up, DJs and DJs? Welcome to edition number 13 of the Rock Raider Challenge using the Unassisted, brought to you by Mr. Brolic Arm, DJ Rob Swift. And in this episode, we're going to look at Artwell Smart, checking out what he had to bring to the tables. We, as always, first look at his setup, then look at the routine, then look at the judges' decision. All right, Artwell Smart uses Technics 1200 turntables using DVS system with styluses and needles, and he's using this mixer. It's the Rain TTM 56. This was really an evolution or like a development in the DJ battle mixer scene, because this had a really nice crossfader. It's not the first like non-contact crossfader, because that's the Focus Fader by DJ Focus, which came out first with the SK2F by Stanton, one of my absolute favorite mixes ever. And this bad boy, the 56, and this bad boy, the TTM 56, had a non-contact crossfader, had like EQ on and off switches. It had an effects loop. It was just a great mixer. And it was used by none other than DJ Emerge, great DJ, incredible battle monster. And I saw Emerge when he used this mixer in the 2002 ITF Scratching World Finals. And of course, the overall finals of the ITF. He was battling Netic from France in the scratching battle, and he was battling DJ Code from France in the World Championships. He lost against Code for the world title, but he won against Netic in the scratching competition. So this is an awesome piece of gear. So many memories. Like I wasn't able to buy it when it came out, but I bought it on eBay for cheap. And it was really the first that had adjustable cut-in times, or like contours, as they call it here on the for the right side and the left side of the crossfader. So it was really an advanced mixer beast. It was awesome piece of gear. All right, one thing I got to comment on is, like, you can see that between the edge of his turntables and his mixer, there is a gap. So the mixer is a little lower. Personally, I think, that's difficult, because like moving from one turntable to another, it should be like a sideways movement, and it's like just faster if you have your turntables and the mixer level, so that you can go back and forth a lot quicker. But I mean, no hate, it really depends on your setting, like the conditions that you live in, or the house, the apartment, or whatever you got your turntables on. There's so many things that like, if this works for Artwell, I'm not hating. It's good, fine. All right, let's check out his routine.
Let's start from the beginning, but at one point we're gonna have a breakdown.
Okay. Oh, his turntables are shaky. And in the lower mixer, there's no boundary for him. He came up with the same idea that I had, but he's not on point. I like that though. Oh, excuse me, I gotta stop here. It's the mixer is not the 56, it's the 57. It has Serato capabilities, and I think it has a built-in sound card, and there are a couple of buttons that you can press, so it has MIDI capabilities, and that's why he's using that. Nice. Oh, he was using he was scratching or juggling the hi-hats. So some kind of a chase pattern, but not too clean, really. Speeding it up for a different tone. I appreciate that totally. Yeah, you got my head bobbing, nodding. Good shit there. But then for some reason, he didn't really catch the finish. Like, he didn't make it on point for the finish. So I don't know whether he didn't really have a plan for the finish, or whether he was just surprised that he got to the finish. I don't know. All right, let's check out the results. So a total score of 27. Rob gave him 3 points on the technicality, 3 on the presentation, 4 on the originality. Artwell Smart's ideas are great. There was a concept in his routine, and I give him lots of credit for that. However, his hands mechanics need more work. Yeah, that's what I was pointing out. He didn't land his hand where the note was, like the sound. And when he was scratching, he wasn't scratching anything because there was nothing. He has a tendency to press down too hard on the racket he's touching, and as a result, we hear the platter drag during key parts of his juggles. That is so important. I had a friend of mine, a guy from my breaking crew, and he was like going like this on the records, and you could hear his hands like falling down or crashing down on the records way too hard. And I always told him, man, you got to be more gentle, especially back then when we were like when we were scratching or juggling in my apartment, my room. That was 2003, 2004. So way before I had a DVS system, a digital vinyl system. All right. Beat juggling requires you to strike a balance between controlling the racket forcefully enough to rearrange drum sounds and achieving the necessary amount of hand sensitivity to not alter the natural sound of the drums when you touch the racket. That is, it's like making love to the racket. You have to have the right amount of force and smoothness. I don't know how else or how better I can describe it, but it's really, if you touch the racket, you have to be like, you have to have the right amount of force and strength and smoothness to make the beat juggle work. There are also moments where, as a result of opening the mix's crossfader too soon to the side being rewound, the whipping back of the vinyl is audible, which further causes some of his juggle patterns to sound clumsy. Artwell, don't worry about it. I had that in my routine as well. If you go back to my routine and go to the end when I tried to do the rolling fills, I had my crossfader totally messed up. Like, crossfader openings were not on point, were not clean, and thus you could hear a lot of me rewinding the record. That just comes with practice. Lots and lots and lots of practice. My tip here is really record what you're doing. If you have something that you want to achieve, record what you're doing, look at it, and try to make it better. Because the camera is your friend, really. Your camera is your friend when you try to achieve something, because that camera is absolutely neutral. It's objective. It will tell you what is there and not go, yeah, you did well. Total score of 10 by Rob Swift. Mike, see what you got to say. 2.5 on technicality, 2.5 on presentation, originality 3. Artwell shows that he definitely has the hand speed to do complex patterns and a variety of different kinds of patterns too. I think at this point it would be good for him to focus on doing patterns that make the listener's head nod. Oh, you saw my head nod. So, and executing them cleanly. Yeah, that's like both counts. Really, like, you have to get the audience's attention, and you will lose it when the sound is not, or the beat pattern is not correct. When it doesn't come correct, and when it's not clean, you're gonna lose some of your audience. Don't be afraid to put in the time necessary to perfect those sample patterns. Once he gets to busting those cleanly and making heads nod, then adding complexity after that won't be a problem for him. I can't emphasize how important this was for my appearance and for DJ Wynn's appearance. I'm just going to compare me to him because that's going to make it easier to explain what I want to say. I tried more complex things than Wynn's, for example, the rolling fills, but Wynn's was smart. DJ Wynn's was really smart. He did complex patterns and he did body tricks, but he executed them 100% clean, on point. And that's why he scored better than I did. So if you ask me, cleanliness comes before complexity if you want to win a battle. But then, like, if you want to score high, cleanliness comes before complexity. But if you want to win, if you really want to get that top place, you have to have cleanliness. But then you also have to have complexity. All right, Mr. B, technicality 2, presentation 3, originality 4. I appreciate that you had your own approach to this juggle with using different parts of the beats. With your cue points as navigation. I also liked the added level of difficulty with the mixer being lower. Thanks, man, for sure, for pointing that out as well. I honestly think that it's harder to juggle that way. Yes, certainly. In terms of execution, I think you could have been tighter on the juggle delivery. The chase and strobing toward the end was good, but leading up to that, I think you can tighten it up or simplify some of your pat down patterns. So there's like this padding on the record that seems to be a real issue, and that's maybe, apart from the cleanliness or clumsiness as a contrast, is why Artwell only got 27 points, which is great, no question. But like, if you execute those patterns that you have more cleanly, you're gonna score higher, definitely, and probably one part or one step towards cleanliness is touch your record with love. That's my point of advice here. My name is DJ Mystery. Please stay healthy, stay clean, and practice. See you all in the next challenge, which is called A Cut Above. Also brought to you by Mr. Brawlic Arm, Rob Swift. I'm outie. Peace, y'all.